I made pop-up for 30 kids, so if you are looking to make pop-up for a large batch of people, this is the right video. Hi my friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make pop-up for parties, large batch of people, or even if you have a small get-together. So just watch me do it while I explain as we go. Making pop-up for large batch of people could be technical because even the small batch we make could flop if care is not taken. But just be rest assured, with my measurements and if you follow these steps carefully, you will get it right. Don't forget to check the description box for all the measurements and details. So the first thing you want to do is add in some flour, sugar and yeast to your bowl. I'm using active yeast for this recipe because it's easier to work with for me. Also ensure that you sift your flour because of any kind of insects. You don't want that in your pop-up, so make sure you use your sieve to sift your flour. I'm also going to be adding a whole nutmeg to this recipe because I love the flavor of nutmeg and the taste of nutmeg in my baked goods, especially in pop-up. The taste of nutmeg elevates it to another level, so you don't want to miss that out. So the next thing you want to do now is incorporate all the ingredients to each other. Let everything mix in: the salt, the sugar, the nutmeg, the flour and the yeast. You want everything to be properly incorporated to each other before adding in your warm water. You might be wondering, why am I not using ordinary water? That is because warm water activates the yeast faster. You just want warm water that you can work with, that your hand can be easily dipped in without getting hot. Do you know that yeast are microorganisms, so they need something warm to activate it faster, or they need an heated environment. That's why anytime we are using yeast to make any kind of pastries, we leave it in somewhere that has heat so that the yeast can activate faster. I'm also going to be adding in some flavor to the pop-off. I'm using milk flavor. You could use vanilla flavor or butterscotch flavor to give it that classy taste. And we're going to use our hand because I can't even use spoon to mix this large batch of puff puff. I'm going to be doing it the traditional way, using my hand to mix it and properly incorporate everything to it. This mixing process can be a little bit tedious. I think if you have a standing mixer will do the work perfectly. But the issue is, your standing mixer mix this kind of quantity? But if it can, feel free to use it. Now you want to slap the batter. You want to use your hand to slap the batter to the bowl so that everything can be smooth. And now we're going to cover it and allow it to rise for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, look at our puff-puff. Tada! It is properly risen, and look at it. Now you want to deflate your puff-puff. You don't want to fry with the risen dough. You deflate it, then it rise back into the oil. When you put in the oil, it will rise back. Yeah, heat up some oil and begin to scoop into the oil. Remember, you are deep frying pop-up, so you need a lot of oil to do that. I first added 1 scoop to my oil. When I saw that the thing came up, I knew my oil was ready to go, so I begin to scoop into the oil. You see the way I'm twisting my hand and just scooping the puff puff into the oil. This is the most fun part of making puff puff. I love doing this. Just begin to scoop it to the size and shape that you want the size of your puff puff to be. When it becomes sticky, dip your hand inside water, I mean ordinary water, and just continue scooping it into the oil. If it becomes sticky again, dip your hand into water and keep scooping. Ensure you have fun while doing this so you won't feel tired. And scoop, 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 scoop till when the pan is filled. And once the pan is filled, you just use your big spoon or any size of spoon that you can work with and stir very well. You want to, like, not continuously, but you want to stir so that one side will not be browner than the other. It took me a little while to understand the act of making puff puff, and I will advise that if you have not made a large batch like this before, I will advise that you make like 2 cups to practice with before you proceed to making large batch like this. Because to be very honest, puff puff could be technical if you don't know how to make it. And if you know how to make it, you are good to go. That's one thing about puff puff. If you don't know how to make it, it could be technical. But once you know how to make it, you are good to go. So my friends, and the advice I always give when making large batch of things like this is that Have courage. Once you have courage, once you put your mind to it, trust me, you are good to go. You will get it, and you'll be proud of yourself, just like the way I'm proud of you. So our pop-off is ready. This was the first batch. I did 5 other batches with that dough. Yeah, 5 other batches with the dough. And I just scoped out the first batch and just put it in a sieve to drain off all the excess, or you could also put it in a bowl lined with tissue paper to drain off the excess oil. And I arranged it in my foil plate. I glazed it with some condensed milk and it tasted so good. The kids loved it and everyone loved it. This video had a lot of views on my Instagram because I posted it as Instagram reels first. I've been a little bit reluctant to post YouTube videos for some weeks now. So please, if you see this video, don't forget to like, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe. So bye my friends, I love you. Bye.